Hey there, Said Ali this side, executive fat loss coach for busy CEOs and executives. So, in this video, we are talking about a 6 fat loss mistakes that are costing you millions and millions of dollars. So, those of you who don't know me, my name is Said Ali. I help CEOs and high-level executive men over 40 drop 30 to 50 pounds, optimize their energy and testosterone, and reclaim their edge without restrictive diets or long hours in the gym. So, if you want to see more about me, my client testimonials, how I help executives all over the world, you can click the link below and you can go through all the thing, and after that you can book a call to see if we both are the right fit to each other. So the mistake number one that is costing you millions and millions of dollars when you're trying to lose fat is over dependent on cardio alone. So I see a lot of individual when they're trying to lose fat, they end up doing too much of cardio alone. They think that cardio is a cheat code for losing their visceral fat, their belly fat, whatever. But in reality, too much of cardio increases appetite, which can lead to compensatory eating, and that can negatively affect your calorie deficit. So what do you mean by that? So if you are doing some sort of high intensity running, jogging, or any sort of high intensity exercises, it comes with a cost. That means it will make you very much tired and make you feel hungry, and that can lead to compensatory eating. That means you may end up eating whatever the food that you are coming nearby for compensating the amount of calories that you are burning. So the problem is that you might end up eating more food than you burned during exercises. Let's say you run for a 30 minutes and burn 300 calories, but then you get so much hungry that you eat an extra sandwich and chips that has 500 calories. Instead of losing weight, you actually added 200 calories more than before you exercised. So this is called as compensatory eating. It is when your body tries to make up for the exercises by making you eat extra food. Your body is smart and tries to keep its energy balanced. That is why people who only do cardio sometimes don't lose weight. They end up eating back all calories they work hard to burn. So think about this. How many times in your life you had done a high intensity exercises like running, sprinting, or jogging, and you felt very much hungry and you had eaten tons and tons of food in order to compensate for that calorie burn? That is our body's survival mechanism. Our body is very smart to keep those energy balanced. So that is why too much of cardio can make you gain weight by increasing your appetite and making you to eat more than what you actually required and putting you in an extra caloric surplus. And number two, too much of cardio has adaptation effect. What do you mean by that? When you first start cardio exercises, your body burns loads of calories because it's working hard at something new. But over time, your body adapts. It gets better at that same exercises and became more efficient. Your heart, your lungs, and your muscles learn to do the exact same work with using less energy. It means the 30 minutes run that once burned 300 calories might later only burn 200 to 250 calories, even though you are doing the same workout. That is why most people see quick results when they start doing some sort of cardio, but then hit some plateau where weight loss stops even with the same exercise routine. That means your body adapts to the same exercises and produce less output as compared to the beginning. Number three, excessive cardio can cause muscle loss. This is one of the most important things that I had personally seen in myself in my early journeys, and I had seen in most of our executive clients before they start working with us. So excessive cardio can cause muscle loss. Your body needs energy when you exercise, right? It can get this energy from fat or from muscle. When you do loads and loads of cardio without strength training, your body might start breaking down some of your muscle for energy, especially if you are eating less food too. So, as you already know, when you're trying to lose fat, you have to be in a calorie deficit. So if you are focusing on fat loss, you should be always eating less than what your body required. That means you are eating less. And on top of that, if you are combining that with too much of excessive cardio, it can lead to muscle loss because your body does not have enough input to give energy. Why? Because we are eating less, we are on a fat loss journey, right? So there is a high chance of breaking down muscle mass to give you energy if you are doing too much of excessive cardio without focusing on strategic strength training. And this is a problem because number one, muscle burn calories all day long, even when you are sleeping or watching TV. That means muscle is more metabolically active. That means if you are having more muscle mass, you will lose fat faster and you tend to burn calories even while you are sitting. And also, less muscle mass means your body burns fewer calories every day. And fewer calories burns make it harder to lose those weight. So if you lose muscle while trying to lose fat, your body will burn fewer calories each day, making it harder to keep losing weight or keep that weight off. Simple as that. If you are doing too much of cardio without proper strength training and you are on a calorie deficit, there is high chance of you losing those muscle mass. And if you lose muscle mass, it will make you to burn fewer calories each day and trying to make it harder to lose that weight or keep that weight off. And the mistake number two, underestimating the cost of chronic stress. So if you are having too much of chronic stress or if you are having too much of stress, it can raise your cortisol level, which can release appetite, particularly for high caloric comfort food. And also if you are having too much of stress, it can impair insulin sensitivity, making your body more likely to store fat rather than burn it. And if you are having too much stress, it can slow down your metabolic rate by conserving energy when under persistent stress, effectively lowering your metabolic rate. And not only that, most important thing, too much of stress can cause stress eating. That means too many folks cope with stress by consuming calorie dense, nutrient poor foods that provides temporary emotional relief. So most of you are coping your stress with any sort of high calorie dense food, right? And too much stress can disrupt your sleep cycle. Stress often interferes with the sleep quality, and poor sleep is strongly linked to weight gain through hormonal challenges and increased hunger. Right? If you don't have a high quality proper sleep, it is very much hard for you to lose those excess stubborn visceral fat, belly fat, excess weight. These are some of the daily practices that you can follow. So these are some of the practices that we make our clients to do that. Number one is schedule 10 to 15 minutes of deliberate relaxation. Either that can be meditation, deep breathing. And number two, you can take brief cortisol breaks when feeling stressed. It can be 3 to 5 slow breaths. And number three, you can do moderate exercises. That means excessive intensity can raise cortisol further as well. So if you are doing too much of high intensity exercises, you can slow down and reduce the intensity as well. You can spend your time in nature and also you can have more social connection. So this can help you reduce stress hormone production as well. So if you had done this and if you don't see any significant results, I highly recommend you to go on a supplementation protocol. So you can have this supplementation protocol. So these are the supplement protocol that we give our executives as they don't have that much time to follow the daily practices, and some of them might had followed in the past but they haven't seen the results. So we make them to follow this supplementation protocol. These are the some of the highly scientifically studied supplements that can help you focus on more sleep, reduce your stress so that you can able to lose those visceral fat faster. So you can take a screenshot or I will link everything down this video. You can go and check it out. Check number three, poor hunger management. If you are on a fat loss journey, you need to understand how important it is to manage those hunger. So if anybody is saying you that fat loss does not require you to stay hungry, that is a big lie. So when you're trying to lose fat, you will get hungry. So that is one of the signs that you are losing fat. So that is why it is important to know how to manage your hunger. And here is why it is important. Why? Because it can override rational decision making, leading to grabbing whatever is convenient rather than what aligns with your nutrition goal. And number two, arriving at a meal extremely hungry often results in consuming more calories than your body needs, as it takes about 20 minutes for your brain to register fullness. And number 3, constant hunger can create anxiety around food and leads to a restrict binge cycle. Here are some of the methods that we focus on our executives in elite executive fitness. So number 1, you can volumize your meal by adding fiber and cruciferous vegetables to feel fuller without extra calories. Number 2, follow a data-driven system. Try to have final meal 3 to 5 hours before sleep. So I highly recommend you to eat 3 to 5 hours before sleep. Try it out, you can see amazing results. And your first meal should be taken 1 to 3 hours after waking up, and your second meal should be somewhere around in between. So these are some of the methods that we give our executives. You can copy paste as well. And the mistake number 4, not understanding the reality of fat loss phases. This is one of the big mistake that everybody is making when they're trying to lose fat. Why? Because they don't know the reality of fat loss phases. So there are different phases for fat loss. Number 1 phase is the initial rapid fat loss phase that will take almost around 1 to 2 weeks. So initially your body start to lose more water weight and your glycogen stores decreases quickly, and this creates a false expectation about sustainable phase. So many mistake this initial rapid fat loss phase as it is a real fat loss phase and become discouraged when it gets slow. And number 2 is a steady fat loss phase. It will take weeks or even months, and in this phase your fat loss gets very much slow, and true fat loss burning happens at a slower, consistent rate, and it requires patience and consistent effort. Progress may appear less dramatic, but it is more meaningful. And in this phase 2 is a phase where you are building your fundamental habits like resistance training, walking, and proper sleep. So this phase 2 is all about building habits, and it requires loads and loads of patience and consistent effort. So most of the people I know, they end up quitting at the first phase itself. They don't know what is going to happen in the next phase, and they end up quitting. So in the phase 2 is a phase where your fat loss gets very much slow and you need loads and loads of patience. And phase 3 is a plateaued phase. In this phase you cannot see significant results. Your weight or your number or your scale gets stuck. Why? Because your body adapts to those calorie deficit and activity level. And also metabolic adaptation occurs as body fights to maintain homeostasis. And in this phase, it requires strategic adjustment rather than more extreme measures. And number 4 is the final refinement phase. So this is the last phase where losing that last few pounds is typically the hardest, and it may require more precise nutrition and exercise strategy, often requires different approach than earlier phases. Mistake number 5, not understanding how to maintain fat loss forever. This is the most important mistake, so keep watching. Why? Because most of you might had lost some weight and you end up feeling very much hard to maintain that lost weight and that progress. So make sure to watch this. So when you start your fat loss journey, you are starting at a higher calorie number and you tend to lose a lot of weight and you end up becoming very much small, and your body will get adapts, and it is called metabolic adaptation. Your body adjusts to lower caloric intake during weight loss by reducing energy expenditure. So simply returning to pre-diet eating habits almost guarantees weight regain. So instead it requires strategic caloric adjustment as you transition from loss to maintenance. So this is where most of the people get wrong. So they end up getting back to their normal lifestyle without following a strategic approach. So what you need to do instead? You need to slowly add more food back. This is where reverse dieting comes into play. Add just a little more food each week instead of a lot all at once. So most of the people, when they lose some weight, they end up getting back to their normal lifestyle and eat whatever the food that they are coming. Instead, you need to slowly add more food weekly, say 100 calories, 150 calories per week, rather than adding everything together. So if you are adding every food together, that may end up gaining weight back faster. So instead, you need to slowly add more food. And you need to keep checking the scale. Keep your weight to make sure you are not gaining fat. Not only that, you need to stay active, keep moving your body every single day, and you need to build strong habits. Stick with the healthy choices that help you to lose weight. So you need to be very much active during this phase of slowly adding back the calories, and you need to build strong habits. That means whatever the healthy choices that you made when you're trying to lose fat, you need to focus on that same thing when you are maintaining those weight. And number two, you need to focus on psychological shift. Many views dieting as a temporary period of restriction rather than a lifestyle shift. So dieting mentality creates an on-or-off approach instead of sustainable habits. Without a maintenance mindset, the old pattern quickly returns once goals are reached. So that means you need to focus on shifting everything psychologically. That means you need to change that dieting mentality. Most of the people have this ideology that dieting is some sort of restriction. No. If you're somebody who had followed any sort of restrictive approach or anything to focus on losing that excess body weight, then my friend, there is higher chance of you getting that weight back. Why? Because you tend to feel that dieting is some sort of restriction and that should be followed for a particular period of time. Rather, you need to change your mindset and you need to make dieting as a part of your life, and you need to focus on losing fat by eating the food that you love rather than following any sort of restriction. So if you're somebody who is having this mentality, stop that and you need to focus on your mindset first rather than focusing on any other external factors. Also, you need to change your identity as well. So lasting change requires evolving your self-perception from someone trying to lose weight to someone who maintains a healthy lifestyle. And without this identity shift, old habits aligned with your previous identity will resurface. Same. You need to change your identity as somebody who is trying to lose weight to somebody who is trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle so that you can sustain that fat loss forever. So if you like this video, make sure to subscribe, and if you want to work with me one-on-one, you can click the link below this video and you can book a call with me, and I will see you on the other side.